From the outset, our Jewish communal organisations have been hostile to the Australian Jewish Association. Why? I will get to that in a moment. But more importantly, last week the AJA became the #1 Australian Jewish communal organisation on Facebook, with over 12,500 followers. In #2 spot is the Zionist Federation of Australia, with 11,500 followers, although they do have a lot of youth activities that are followed, so it's not just world politics. And then all the other organisations are languishing well behind. Our jump to #1 is significant because it has happened despite a concerted BDS campaign applied to the Australian Jewish Association from many of our communal organisations, as well as other activists who disagree with our point of view. You wouldn't think that our leadership would boycott, divest and sanction a Jewish organisation, would you? But that's what's happening. Diversity of opinion is fine in our community, apparently, as long as it conforms with their worldview. But one reason the AJA has been successful is because of social media. We can reach thousands of people anytime we want to, and as hard as our communal organisations may try to silence us to the point where they actively impede our contribution to the public discourse and try to sabotage our events, we have grown substantially in just 2 years. Let me say that we have no issue with any of our communal organisations. Our view is that we represent a certain segment of the Jewish community that holds politically conservative views and views that are guided by Torah values. But they seem to have a problem with us and will go to any lengths to obstruct us and then denigrate us when we do something that they probably wish they had done themselves. It happens all the time, but you never hear about it. And although not a communal organisation, the Australian Jewish News has also joined the party and will only print something about the AJA if it can be spun with a negative slant. So what's behind it? Well, it's all about control. Our communal leaders want to control the conversation within our community and shut down anyone who challenges their accepted wisdom. We do that quite a lot. A good example of this is the two-state solution. We say that in 100 years, history has shown it to be an abject failure, all because of the Arabs. We say that there are alternatives for resolving the conflict around that should at least be discussed. But this is taboo in our community, so we get shut out by our officialdom. So far, the Australian Jewish Association has politely ignored all of this hostility coming in our direction from our communal organisations and the ratbag leftist groups. We have just gotten on with what we like to do. But it is now time to call this out as a BDS program against us and take it to you, the community. You need to know what's going on. The AJA has developed a large audience which just wouldn't happen if we presented views that were unpalatable to a large segment of the Jewish community, and also not forgetting our Christian Zionist friends. So we're asking you to do 2 things. Firstly, please like this on your Facebook page and share it widely so that everybody in the community gets to know what's going on. Secondly, if you are not yet a member of the Australian Jewish Association, please join up for the grand sum of $25. This will demonstrate your support for what we do and for which you will get a regular newsletter reporting on our many activities. It will also send a message to our other communal organisations that we can't be ignored. It is finally time to call out this BDS campaign applied to the Australian Jewish Association and put it on the public record. We're all volunteers, but there is a lot of resentment to our work by those getting decent salaries that is impacting on your right to know what is happening, your right to hear a view that may not be liked by all of our other left-leaning organisations, and your right to have a say. Please act. We want your support. Our community needs your support. We would like you to demonstrate to our communal leaders that you are not prepared to tolerate the status quo. Otherwise, they will continue to manipulate the agenda so that they bring you only those views that they expect you to hold. This is Alan Freedman for the Australian Jewish Association.